Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady. This is Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your host, Germ, and you are tuned into the show where I talk to you about whatever the fuck I feel like talking to you about. And this week is going to be no different. I know some of you may have noticed, some of my longtime listeners, well, you're not listeners anymore, might have noticed this is not an audio-only podcast anymore. This is video now. So now you get to see my face. You get to actually see what I look like. You get to see all the facial reactions I make as I say some of the shit that I do. And trust me, you do want to see those because I can be a funny person with the faces I make. But I don't want to talk too much about all the changes and everything. Not much is really going to be changing on the actual content part. The only difference is now you can see my face. Today's episode, with all that said, is just going to be about Drake and his new album, Honestly, Nevermind. And yes, I know I just said honestly Nevermind as if that was just me saying fuck this topic, but it's actually what I want to talk about. That's the name of the album, Honestly Nevermind. He dropped it last week, last Friday. No announcement prior to that. Really just dropped an Instagram post on Thursday during the middle of the day, middle of the afternoon. Like, hey, I got an album coming. And he dropped it. You know, it was pretty similar to the If You're Reading This, It's Too Late drop, except that one was really like, it was over a week for that, because I remember he dropped a whole video that was sort of hyping that up. This one was literally just, hey, this is coming, y'all better be ready for it, and he just dropped it. And there's been a lot of discourse about it. You know, there have been people who are saying this shit is weak, how could Drake drop this? You had Irv Gotti, Irv fucking Gotti in 2022, why does his opinion still matter, coming out and saying, hey, I wish I had DMX out here. That'd be somebody who'd be making some real shit. This ain't real rap. Like, bruh, I think it's like, this album is a perfect example of how people don't necessarily always embrace change or embrace evolution. They want people to stay the same. They want people to stay in a same little box and not really do things to expand or move past that initial part that they're in. Like, if Drake would have just stayed the same dude he was when he first came out, he would not be where he is. He had to sort of evolve. He had to sort of know when to grow a beard and when to sort of start trying to be a different type of person. And that came with time. And you got to expect that people are going to grow and change. And shit not going to stay the same, which is all I'm trying to say. This one is like the beginning of another era of Drake's career for me. This is like him going from that second phase where he was in, you know, the first phase, come all the way back to comeback season, all the way up until Nothing Was the Same. That's like that first phase of his career where it's like he's on the come up. He's on the come up and everything. It's like this is him rising to the top. This is him forcing Jay-Z and Kanye to team up and drop a whole collab album just to make sure he doesn't overtake them. This is that Drake. There was that Drake. And then there was, from If You're Reading This all the way up until Certified Lover Boy. He's the guy. He is the guy in rap. He is the guy in music. And I'm not saying he's the best rapper. I would never try to say that because I don't believe that shit. But he's been the face of hip hop for a while, whether you like him or you don't. There's no denying that. Like, he is the most popular rapper probably of all time. And with all, well, next, he probably close to Pac, damn it. Like, I'm a Pac fan, but he's probably close to him. He's probably already lapped him in terms of just global popularity. But that I'm getting besides the point. I'm going to make this a Tupac versus Drake video, and I don't even want to do that. This is the ushering in of his third phase of his career. And it was honestly, this is the most excited I've been for new Drake in a long-ass time. And that's saying something, man. He deserves credit for being able to create that type of excitement over a decade into his career. Over a decade into this man's career, he's able to do that. Like, he was talking about on Nothing Was the Same, we'll see who's still around 5 years from now. Like, man, it's a decade since this man has first come into the game, and he's still going crazy. You got to give that man his respect. This one, it's not, like I said, it's not his best. I don't know if I said that. It's not his best album. I'm not going to try to overhype it to that point. But it's definitely not his worst, like some people have been trying to make it out to be. It's not Scorpion, not just some over-bloated BS. It's not Nothing Was the Same or Take Care. It's not that just truly refined, like, mastered sound. It feels like this is Drake really just saying, you know what, I really like this house shit. I'm going to go and make a whole album based around this, and I'm going to see how it turns out. And it turned out pretty fucking nice. I really think that this is just one of those albums where it's going to grow on people over time, and you're going to always appreciate the artistry. This isn't This isn't as good as 808s and Heartbreak, but for Drake, this is his 808s and Heartbreak. Because when people are expecting you to come and do the same thing after a while, or come in with that same formula, because Kanye had almost gotten himself to a point where everybody expected him to always be that backpack rapper. Then he just switched it up completely with 808s and just further went down a completely different style with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And in a perfect world, I'm hoping that's what Drake does. You switch it up completely, then on your next album, you just come up with some crazy monster, like the greatest. I still say My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is one of the greatest albums of all time. Fuck rap, fuck any other genre, that's one of the greatest. If Drake can come out with something like that, and this could be like the ushering into that, that would be amazing to see. Cause he's got it in him. It's just, he's always chosen the money over all that. He's always chosen the streaming and getting the numbers up and all that. He wanted his shit to pop. No pun intended. And it feels like this is like the first album where he said, you know what, nah, I'm going to just really switch up the styling. I'm going to switch up the flavor. I'm going to switch up the flow. Like, instead of giving you that same dish I've been giving you, I'm going to give you something different. I'm going to give you something completely new. Because all he did was really change up the flavors and the styles on all his older work. He never really, like this, hammered down on just going in a different direction or going in a different sound and just giving people something unexpected. This is Passion Fruit times 14. If you listen to Passion Fruit off of More Life from 2018, this is that album. I mean, this is a song. These are songs based off of that, just a whole project full of them. Like, my favorite songs off it, just off my initial couple listens: Flights Booked, Liability, Calling My Name, Your Pussy is Calling My Name. Hilarious song, but also beautiful song, good song. Yeah, I think this is just, and it's really like, it does not overstay its welcome. Like, it's to the point where you can just listen to the whole album and you'll almost be like, damn, I need to listen to it again after it's over, because you didn't really get a chance to enjoy all the songs the way you wanted to. And I don't think I've ever said that about a Drake album. It's always been like, okay, this has been a Drake album. It's been a decent amount of time on this. This one was completely within its own place. It didn't overstay its welcome. When it comes to just the content on the album, though, I will say, as much as praise as I've given to Drake for putting it together, and he does deserve a lot of praise, he's not the best part of it. The best part of this album is the production. It is the sounds. It is the different little vibes he's got going on in the songs. Like, this is the type of album to where people are going to talk shit about it when they listening to it by themselves. You hear this in the club, you hear this with some liquor in your system, you're going to fucking love it. You are going to fucking love it. Like, I'm not even a club person. I want to go to the club just so I can listen to this album in a club setting. So give Drake a big shout out, man. I don't think he deserves as much hate as he's been getting, or just people trying to hate on it, like acting like he just finally fell off. He finally did something new for a change. I think this album just goes to show how much people will claim they want some new shit, but they just want shit to stay the same. They don't want anybody to actually switch it up, to actually do something different. And, yeah, he deserves a lot of credit for doing that. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, if I had to give this a grade or a score, I'm going to give it a solid 8. If somebody gave it a 7.5, I wouldn't be mad at him, but it's a solid 8 to me. B-, B, middle of the grade B. I can't really say it's great, like it's not A. I'm not going to even try to stunt, like I said, but this is not some D or F-. This is just people. The only people who are saying that are people who had a whole bunch of expectations when they saw the cover, or they heard it was some new Drake and thinking they're going to get Certified Lover Boy Part 2, or If You're Reading This, or some of that shit. Nah, it's not that. Like, I can see why you thought you might have been getting something if you're reading this, because that cover was, it gave me that sort of vibe, even though that cover's ass. Drake, I don't know who's been making covers for you, but you need to fire their ass, because they suck. Yeah, it's not that. So he deserves some credit, man. That's really all I had to say about this album. You know, Drake came through. He did a solid thing. You know, 9 months after Certified Lover Boy, you know, with the pregnant emoji women on the cover, he comes through and he drops this. He comes through and he completely just changes the shift of where his career was seemingly going to be heading and staying. And if Drake is able to really just, I really hope that he just doesn't listen to the negative feedback and that he doubles down on this. Double down on making something different. It's not too late. You're too established to be able to just be comfortable making the same shit every time. You have the talent level comparable to any of the top rap artists in the game right now. You can make some different shit, and you have the fan base that's going to stick with you. You don't have any real reason to stay in that same lane. Expand. Broaden your horizon. Explore some new sounds. There's nothing wrong with it. I think if he does that, that's going to be a good omen for the rest of the rappers in the game, because that's going to show them, yo, I can switch this up, because it's a copycat game. It's a copycat world. Niggas is followers. They're not trying to be the one that set the trend. He could have just set the trend by doing this. Hopefully they all decide to just go into their own sounds and not just make another fucking house music album, because that's what we don't need. One thing I do want to note, Vince Staples did say something that was low-key really true when he was talking about this album, is that he did come out with an album that was low-key just, that's exactly what it was. Big Fish Theory, which was cold as fuck. I'm not gonna stun on you. That's the album that really made me stop sleeping on Vince Staples. That shit was hard. And it had the same sort of a whole bunch of electronic beats, whole bunch of just sort of dance music. The only thing I'll say that was different about that one is that album was more, it just had a lot of like serious deep shit on it too. Like it had the same type of sounds and beats, but like this Drake one is all about like, it's, you know, it's Drake music. It's vibes. It's fucking relationship shit. It's that it's shit for the ladies. It's shit for dudes that's simping and everything. His was more like concept, like a whole, like there was some real deep shit to that. So Vince, you made a nice album, but you can't necessarily compare what you did to Drake. Like I said, best songs on this: Flights Booked, Liability, Calling My Name, Currents, Text Go Green. It was the middle of the album, I'll say, for me, for the most part, was where it was like the only parts that really dragged to me. That's why I couldn't really give it a full A, because there were some parts during the middle that just sort of was acting as background music for me. But, you know, it's a strong starter and it's a strong ending. Once you just get past that middle slog, you'll really appreciate that ending, and then you'll have even more appreciation for how strong that beginning is. This is good music. This is good quality fucking content. This is what I wanted from Drake. I didn't even know I wanted this type of shit from Drake, but this is what I wanted, and this is what he gave us. If you haven't listened to this yet, you need to go listen to it. It's only 14 songs. This is the shortest Drake album I think we've ever gotten up to this point. I can't say that for a fact, but I really feel like it is. That honestly, the album felt like it came and went in terms of how long it was, which I thought at first I was like, damn, that's crazy, but that's actually not that bad. That's not a bad thing, you know? So I gotta give him a big shout out to just, you know, switching it up, doing something different. And before I go, I do want to make sure I take a little bit of time. I want to introduce y'all, or at least want to show y'all in person, one of my favorite clothing brands made by a close friend of mine, Stonerville. Now, if you are a person that likes to smoke weed or is a fan of weed culture, you need to get hip to this. The Stonerville brand. Stonerville brand is honestly just high quality, top notch, Chef Gordon Ramsay level of clothing type shit, y'all. I just got to make sure y'all understand this. This shirt that I just showed y'all, I would wear this shirt all the time. I would probably wear it to work if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, it's got 420 and all that shit on it. It is dope, high quality clothing. He's got a whole bunch of other designs. That's actually one of the older pieces he's had. He's got a whole bunch of new shit on his website that you should definitely go check out. I'm going to make sure I leave a link to that in the description and to his Instagram. I want y'all to go check out his shit, man. My guy has got some good, high quality shit. If you're a fan of the herb, you need to go and check it out now. But that has been Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your boy Germ. I want to say I appreciate everybody so much for listening, for tuning in. I know some of you are going to have to just be listening to this because Spotify might get this video. I don't know if all the other platforms are going to get the video version. But with all that said, this has been your boy Germ. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. And I do want to say, have a beautiful rest of your day and an even better rest of your weekend.